All right, so we're trying this again. I'm hoping the audio is working. I have no idea what happened last time. I've got the same mic and everything. Let's see. I've got my air conditioning on, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue. Can anyone hear the audio? Hopefully. I don't want to jump into my big long explanation again unless the audio is actually coming through. Hopefully it is. Oof. This would be the day that it didn't. Okay, hopefully it's actually coming through now. Beautiful. Thank you, Mackenzie, for confirming that. I had the whole explanation done, and then I got a comment that no one could hear me in the other live stream. So sorry for the technical issues. Okay, so where am I starting? From the beginning. Okay, so originally, thank you to everyone who commented in my poll yesterday. Well, there were two polls. One, I asked what day would be better for live streams. A lot of people said Saturdays. It's the only day that my boyfriend is off work, so the only time I really have to film a live stream, to do a live stream is going to be in the morning, like now. So I wanted to do that, and then yesterday, I was torn between doing a live stream with all my Crow and Pebble products, which I think I'm just going to do just a full edited video about those because I really love those products and I want to like demonstrate them, show you swatches and everything. But I still wanted to do like a live or half get ready with me. And I got yesterday my Midas Cosmetics and NeonMUA face palette. And I got the lightest shade, which is Dawn, and it's gorgeous. This is beautiful. It's buttery, and I could not wait to play with it. I was really hoping that my new Natasha Denona multi-chrome liquid shadows would be in by now. They're supposed to come today, so I don't know when they're going to come in. But I thought, if anything, we could play with the Metropolis palette and just do some kind of, I really want to do like a dark look, so maybe using like this bottom bottom line right there. And then if I really want to use a liquid shadow, I've got all of my CoverGirl liquid shadows right here. And yeah, so we're just going to play. Before we jump into the face palette, let me just tell you real quick what I've already done on my face because I didn't want to do too long of a live stream today. If anything, I think by 12 I have to be off. So I did kind of just do my base and my eyebrows real quick. For primer, I am wearing the Milani Rose Prep and Brighten Face Oil. I really love this oil. It's awesome. For foundation, I am wearing my MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NW13, which is currently my closest shade match. Concealer, I'm wearing one of my favorites. This is the AOA Studio Liquid Concealer in the shade Porcelain. And I just use that under my eyes. It is really bright, that shade, so it's perfect for under my eyes. I cannot use that shade for spot concealing because it's just a little too bright. Let's see, I use my Milani Make It Last setting spray just to kind of meld my powders together. And speaking of powders, the face powder that I'm currently using, the lid is kind of broken, but this is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I love this powder. Would die for that powder. And then for the loose powder under my eyes and around my face, I use the Coty Airspun. And this is in the shade Naturally Neutral. And it's a really good shade match for me right now as well. I'll scoot those to the side. We've got that here. Last but not least, for my brows, I just use a black Franken shadow that I made with an ABH matte black shade, and then the darkest shade in my blood sugar palette. And then to outline my brows, I'm using the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Risk Maker. It's just a black cream shadow, but I really like how it looks in my brows. I love a nice stark brow. Okay. Now that we have all of that out of the way, let's jump into the face palette. So I did swatches on my Instagram last night. And I guess we could just do swatches real quick because there's only 4. So let's see. There's a highlighter, there's a blush, there's a contour, and there's a bronzer. So we've got the blush and the highlight. Honestly, this is the softest highlight I've ever touched. Like just doing this, it's like the creamiest highlight. And look at that. That looks stunning. So let's see. There's the highlight. The blush isn't really swatching super well, so we're going to have to see how that really performs on the face. I saw that last night as well, but it's a really light, I thought it was going to be a hot pink at first, but it's got like peachy undertones to it, so I'm actually kind of excited about that. Now for the contour and the bronzer. So this is the contour, a nice cool toned contour, and then this is the bronzer. So let me just go floop. So those are the two shades right there. And to me, this is such a well put together face palette because it's really just what you need. You've got a highlight, you've got a blush, bronzer, contour. And the tones, the bronzer and the contour just look perfect. So I'm excited. So let me wash these off my hands real quick. And I was almost thought about getting more than one of these palettes, but really I was like, okay, you're pale as heck. You're really only going to use the one palette. But I just love so much that this brand has come out with such a great shade range for face palettes, because it wasn't, as someone who loves face palettes, it wasn't until I really like started thinking about it and looking at the shade ranges available that I realized, you know, the expensive brands like Hourglass that only come out with like one face palette and they expect it to work for everyone. Well, if that face palette works for me, odds are it's not working for the majority of the people out there. And I think it's ridiculous that these higher end brands only come out with one face palette. So it is lovely to see a brand coming out with a range of shade palettes, a range of face palettes in different shades. And I love the way that they named them. They were all about like times of day, like dawn and then twilight and like dusk. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let me start. I'm going to start with the contour first because that's how I've been applying my makeup recently. Is I've started with the contour, blended it out, and then I've gone in with bronzer and then blush and highlight. So I'm going to stick to my normal brushes for contour, which are just these NARS Ita brush. And then I use a dual fiber brush. This is a new one from Luxie to blend it out. So let me take that contour shade. I'm gonna load up my brush and tap off just a little excess. And I'm gonna go in on this side. Okay. I also like to contour a little bit on my forehead. So I will put it there as well. It looks super natural, I have to say. And then a little bit over here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my dual fiber and blend that out. Ooh. I'm definitely seeing the effect more like in person than I am on the webcam. So I might have to take a picture of my final look to show how it like really looks, like not washed out in studio lighting, but it looks super natural. It reminds me of that Milani baked bronzer that I love so much and how it looks really, really natural. That's what it looks like. Honestly, I probably could have also used this to contour like my non-existent jaw down here. But I think we're going to leave it there. So we've got a little bit of the contour on. And it blended out really nicely. It just looks super natural right now. Nice. So we've got that. Next, we're going to jump into the bronzer shade. Hi, Gabrielle. Good afternoon. It's nice to see you guys joining. So for bronzer, I'm going to take my typical bronzing brush. This is from Morphe, and it's the R10 brush. And I did my best to like color switch and take off any shades that were already on these brushes before we jumped in. And for the bronzer, I'm going to do the same thing. Just really load up the brush and then tap off any excess and really see how it applies at first. So. Ooh, again, it's showing up super naturally. So I don't think I need to actually like tap off too much excess. And I'm going to bring it to the forehead. Oh, see there, I saw it a little bit more. I hope it's showing up okay on camera, but really it's just like a really light, again, like that Milani kind of bronzer look. That's what I'm getting from this. Add a little bit more over here. Gonna add a little bit more over here. And make sure if you're not already following me on Instagram, you follow me there, because what I think I'm gonna do is take a few pictures from there and post it so you guys can see the difference between how it looks here versus how it looks like as close to real life as I can get it. Because it is looking really natural, but there is color to the face. I don't think it's showing up as well on camera as I would like, but it blended out beautifully and it looks really nice. So now that we did bronzer and contour, I want to jump straight into blush, and I'm really excited for this blush. And I have a newer blush brush here. This is from Luxie, and I really just want to load this blush up and like go to town. So loading up the brush, we've got plenty there. Let's see. I kind of want to bring this in a little bit closer and do like the sunburnt kind of look today. Just what I'm feeling. And I don't like to do that when I'm working because you could actually look sunburnt. So when I show up on video camera, I don't want people to say, oh, are you okay? But like today, on a day off, we can go a little bit more ham on the blush. I'm loving this tone of blush. You can see there's just a little bit of a slight difference, but it's so much better than I thought it was going to be. Because from pictures, I thought this was going to be like a hot pink. It really isn't. It's like a soft pink with like a peachy tone underneath it, and it looks so pretty. And I think this might be, well, I haven't tried the highlight yet. I think the highlight's gonna be my favorite part of the palette. Ooh, I like that. So yeah, this is just showing up really soft and really natural, which is like perfect if you're going for like an everyday kind of palette. Like honestly, if I were traveling, which, well, actually, I'm gonna travel a little bit in October, but really what we're doing is like a staycation at a hotel just for like a weekend because I need some time, just a little bit, and that's all we're gonna do. But this is like what I would bring. It's like soft and pretty. We'll do a little bit on the nose because why not? I don't want to do too much because you can see like I'm sweating. Even though I still have my AC on and stuff, it's like hot. So I'm going to just do a little bit on the nose. Like that. I like this. It looks really cute, really soft. Oh, thank you, Gabrielle. Gabrielle said it's very natural. I like it on you. You're right. I didn't think it would show up this natural, but it's really pretty. The blush, I don't think I have anything that this blush reminds me of, but the bronzer and contour are really reminding me of the Milani Baked formula with just how like easily it blends in and how nice it is. Now for, I think, like my favorite and most excited part, I cannot wait to try this highlighter. I think this is going to be a blinding highlighter, which that's such a look, like a nice soft, like blush, bronzer, contour, and then just like blinding highlight. I do think that's very on trend right now. We're seeing very natural looks, very cream focused looks, and then like nice highlights. So let me just dig into this. So I'm using my kind of still go-to blush brush. This is the ABH brush, but it's totally worn off by now. So I'm gonna do my Cupid's bow first, which I really don't have to because I'm already sweating, but for science. Okay. I'm also going to do the tip of the nose. I love highlighting the tip of my nose. All right, here we go. Ooh. That is pretty. Though, you know what? I don't know if this is like the best brush for this formula. I mean, it's really pretty. It's already like blinding right there. This might actually, I wonder how this would apply with my fingers. So I'm going to just take a finger. Ooh, it's going to show up really. And I just kind of want to try and pat it out. Ooh. This probably would have worked best for like the Cupid's bow. Ooh, like that. I think a much more structured brush would probably make this a bit more blinding, but it's already really bright. And I do like really blending in my highlights. Ooh, that is so pretty. And I normally would go in with a dual fiber brush to blend this out after, but I think it's already blended. You can see that. Oh, let's do a little bit on the chin. Why not? Chin highlight. Highlight everything. So this is what we have with just the face palette. It's so like natural and pretty. I'm loving this. I definitely, after this is done, I will take some pictures like with my phone and post them on my Instagram story so you can get a better look of how it's looking closer to real life. But this is really pretty. Everything blended out like a dream. And this would be like a perfect travel palette. So I will keep using it, and eventually I'll probably do a follow-up video, maybe in like a review roundup kind of video where I give you my final thoughts. But this, I'm loving this so far. So let's move on. I want to do a quick eye look. And before we do that, I do want to prime my eyes because priming is necessary for me and for like my eye type because it's so hooded. Like if I don't prime my eyes, any look that I do is gone in like an hour or two. So my current favorite eye primer is actually from Crow & Pebble. And this is such a great like dupe for the MAC paint pots. And I actually like how this works a little bit better because it doesn't feel like as heavy on my eyes. So this is their blank page, and I got the shade Parchment and then a white shade. So this is supposed to be like the closest to my skin tone. And what I've learned is that I cannot go in and apply this with like a brush, like a concealer brush, which is what I would normally do with like a paint pot. I would like dip in and then apply it with this. What you need to do with this is it needs to be warmed up by the skin before you apply it, because if you don't, it gets kind of patchy and chunky and it doesn't really work well on my eye. But if I just go in with my finger and do a very thin layer, that's something else. I don't really need to go in with such a thick layer of a primer because a thin layer of this works just fine. So there, just like that. We've got one thin layer all over. And what I do is I take whatever beauty blender I used for my foundation and I just take an empty side and I pat it out to make sure it's applied evenly. And then I go in with whatever face powder I'm using and not dropping. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. And again, working in thin layers. I don't want to really build up the powder here. You really don't have to. So I just take a thin, small amount of powder and just gently set it. Just like that. So now it's all smooth. It's set. You can see the difference between this eye and this eye. And then I've tried so many different types of eyeshadow formula on top of this, and it just works so well. And you really only needed that little bit amount of product, and then working in those thin layers is just mwah, just chef's kiss. So I'm going to just prime the other side real quick, and then we will jump in with the Metropolis palette. I really want to do like a dark kind of smoky eye, which it wouldn't really match the face makeup that I have on right now, but I'm kind of feeling a dark smoky eye. Okay, blending this out. Got a little bit right here. It's looking a little patchy. And if it looks patchy like that, I just try to go in with my beauty blender and blend that out, because maybe a little bit of moisture would help. Okay, and then same face powder. There we go. Primed and ready to go. Let me just put away my face powders. Let's wipe this. Now we're cooking with gas. Let me get my favorite blending brushes. And I think I really want to go for like a dark smoky eye. So I think I'm going to need a more dense blending brush like this one. And these, I think these are, no, one's MAC. So I have a MAC 217, which is my current favorite like dense blending brush. And I've got two Morphe brushes that are just like eh. And they're the M433 and the I'm having trouble. 573. Jesus. I don't know if I need more coffee or all right. Color switching them all real quick. And looking at this palette, I really want to use this green shade. That looks stunning. I want to use this green shade and then maybe deepening it up because this is actually a green shade too. I think I'm going to do that. So let's see. I've also got a card here because I think I'm going to wing it out. But let's see. I'm going to go in with that first olive green and just start loading up that color. Oh, this mirror is so foggy. I don't know what the heck happened to the mirror here. I already took off the thingy. Oh, that's a shame. This mirror, I need to actually like go in here with like Windex or something. Jesus. We'll use the Dawn Face Palette mirror for now. All right, back to blending. This is such a pretty green color. And since I'm gonna blend it like with a card, I'm not gonna take it all the way down to here. I'm probably gonna save that for like the darkest green shade I go in with. So we have these. Oh, it's looking up different on camera than it is here. That is interesting. On camera, it's looking more like a puke kind of green, where here it's looking more like an olive kind of green. All right, we've got this just about blended out. It's so interesting. I think it looks like this is patchy like on camera, but like in person, it doesn't really look patchy. It could just be the lighting. I know I don't have the best lighting up here. So we got our transition shade done. I love how that looks. Oh, and Gabrielle said, it took me a moment to realize that you were using the Metropolis palette. It looks so different when it's organized that way. Yep, and that's my bad. I totally reorganized this palette because I kind of hated the way it was in the palette before. So I did steal this idea actually from a friend of mine on Instagram who organized it kind of like a rainbow. And I like it this way so much better. It also shows you how much repetition really there is. Like, there's really only color like in the bottom two rows. These are just kind of neutrals. But Natasha Denona neutrals, like this row of just shimmers is actually stunning. So I can't really complain because her shimmer shades are just like, they're beautiful. So I wanted to go in with this dark shade next. So I'm going to go in with that same brush, no, the smaller brush first, just to see how it blends in. And I'm going to keep my card at the ready. I'm going to start blending in like right on the outer corner here and see how it goes. That is such a pretty shade. Oh my god. It looked so different in the pan. Oof. Might have brought that up a little too high. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's different. So yeah, I think I'm going to wing this out. And then if anything, I'm going to bring this shade in further. Card. There we go. And I am just going to keep blending this shade in. Blending, blending, blending. I remember when I first realized that the majority of what it takes to just make any nice eyeshadow look is just blending for like forever. All right. So we lost a little bit of that first shade. I think I'm going to go back in and bring that back up on the top as like a transition, but I love how that second shade looks. It looks so different than it is in the pan. And it's like a smoky green eye. I'm going to put something bright on the lid. It's going to look great. So I think for the other eye, I'm just going to start with wing, since I kind of already know what I'm going into now. Let's get this lined up. Ooh. Oh, that turned out so much better than the other side. See that? I could probably blend those in together, but what I'm thinking is more of like the dark, because I really wanted to do a dark look today. So I'm going to bring that in the same way I did on the other side. And just really darken it up. But these are beautiful shades. Got it. I really like how this side turned out a little bit better because you can still see the lighter green up on top, whereas on this side I brought it up just a little too high and you kind of lost that first light green. So I'm going to take the first brush we went in with and just go back into that light green and just kind of blend up here where I like lost the first shade. Like that. And I'll just do, you know, for good measure, we'll do it on the other side too. Just to do a little blendy. A little extra blendy blendy. I think this needs to get whipped out a little bit more because you see how this is a nice like on this side and this side kind of stopped. It's all trial and error. I think it's gonna look really pretty once we bring it all together. So lower lash line, real quick. I'm just gonna use those same two shades that I used. I'm going to use a flat liner for the darkest shade. Now what I like to do is just really take this as close to my lash line as I can. Okay, and then, yeah, so keeping it as close as I can to the lash line like this. And then that's all I do with the flat brush. I keep it that close. And then we blend it out with another brush, but by placing it with this kind of a dense flat brush that close, it's really going to blend out nicely once we go in with the other brush. Color switch right after. And then, oh, I didn't take out my blending brush. Here we go. So another small blending brush. This is also from Morphe. This is the M506, a nice little blending brush. This is the perfect size for blending the under eyes. So no extra product on it, just blending out what we already placed there with that flat liner brush. And you probably see me do this in my tutorials a lot, but it just turns out so nice. Like that. And then once we have that darker shade blended out, that is when I like to go in with the lighter shade on this brush. There. So we have that shade blended out, so it blends in nicely with the kind of wing we've created. Now I'm going to take that lightest shade on this brush. I'm going to load it up, tap off a little bit, and first I'm going to stamp the color on. So I really want the same blend that I got like on the top, but in order to do that on the lower lash line, you got to like do it backwards. So now I'm going to take that lightest color, really bring it in And for this kind of look, I'm going to bring it in all the way to the inner corner and just blend that out. And you can wing it out with the wing too. Like that. See, now we've got like a together kind of look, and it's gonna look so pretty with the lid color and with mascara and everything on. Same thing for the other side. Oh man, this eye came out so much nicer. I might take a nice like up close picture of it for my Instagram. It just looks so well put together and blended. There. So we've got the majority of this done, because I like to save the lid color for last. It's my favorite. I love just putting shimmery colors all over my lid. I really do. I got a little bit of fallout, so I'm just gonna brush that away. And there we go. Now we've got so many options for shimmers. They're so pretty. This one is calling my name because it looks like a duochrome kind of shade. And then we've got these more warm tones. We've got like a gold. I don't know how that would look, but it would kind of match the lighter olivey toned green. And then we've got that. I don't know about that shade, but I'm kind of really drawn towards this first shade. I don't know. It looked different swatched out. They're all kind of really warm toned. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what I'm really feeling of. Oh, that's dark. They came out so dark. What about the lightest shade in the palette? Oh, you can barely see that. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go with this shade right here for the lid, and then I'm going to use this for the inner corner. And we'll just see how it looks. If it looks bad, we could always just go over it with a liquid shadow. Or throw some glitter on it. That's what you do if you don't like how the look turns out. You just throw a bunch of glitter on it. So for this, I don't feel like getting a glitter glue. I kind of just want to go in with my finger. So I'm just going to take a lot of that shimmer on my finger, and I'm going to blend it in. So let's... Ooh. Ooh, okay, I have to say, on top of the other shadows, that is looking stunning. That looks gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm glad I picked that one. That one looks so nice. And now what I'm going to do is just take a mixture of those green shades we used and just slightly blend in the shimmer so that it blends in nicely to the rest of the eye. How pretty is that? I definitely have to take a picture of this for my Instagram. It looks so nice. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Ooh. You know what this eye look reminds me of? Has anyone seen The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro? This eye look is reminding me of that movie for some reason. I don't know. It looks... I'm living for this look. I'm just going to blend this out. For a look like this, I don't really want to add liner because one advantage to like winging out the shadow like this, it acts like built-in liner. So I feel like I don't need to add like thick black liner or anything. You definitely could, especially if you wanted to wear lashes. I'm not going to be wearing lashes today, but if you did want to wear lashes with this, I would recommend liner. Oh, I'm so happy with how this look turned out. It reminds me also a lot of the look that Natasha posted on her Instagram she used the multi-chrome shadows with it, but it was kind of the same tone. And I can't wait to get my hands on those multi-chrome shadows, guys. I might have to do a video comparing them to the Stilas and seeing if they're worth it, because they were more expensive than the Stilas or not. Okay, so that's it for the shadow. Let me just... I don't see any fallout, so I'm just going to do this because I'm paranoid and I always do this. So this looks so pretty. I'm loving this. I don't know if I really need... You know what? I'm going to do the inner corner highlight just because we'll have a nice little pop of bright there. I'm going to take the lightest shade in the palette and just add in a tiny little pop. You know what would have worked a lot better is my ABH Moonchild Glow Kit has a green tinted shadow, green tinted highlight, and that would have, I think, worked perfectly for this look, but this works. I got a little bit in the inner corner and then a little bit up here. There we go. Yeah, this came out so much better than I was expecting, to be honest. Oh, but I love that. Oh, Gabrielle said, yes, I saw that, the Shape of Water, and it does remind me a bit. Yeah, I might have to do another, I think, palettes based on books, and I was thinking about doing looks based on books, like taking a favorite book of mine and like doing an eye look based off of either the cover or the story. So I'm thinking about that maybe. Parnika said, wanted to pop in and say I'll watch the playback in a couple hours, busy running errands for my small pool party. I hope you enjoy your pool party. I'm doing the same, where I'm just we're doing this to get ready because we're going to go out. We got to run some errands. Probably pick up some food. We're going to treat ourselves to, like, I don't know, something outside the house today. Not like going out to eat. We're going to place an order online and pick it up. We're going to be responsible. And we're just really just going to hang out and probably watch anime. But I like makeup, so this is what I'm going to do before running my normal errands. So thank you for jumping in, Parnika. I hope you can enjoy your pool party and then watch me tonight. So let me just grab my my stack. I am so short and can't reach. Here we go. I'm just going to throw mascara on, and then this look will be done. Because I'm not going to wear lipstick today. My lips are really dry, and I'm going to be wearing a mask, so not really looking for that. So what time is it? Oh, we're right on time. It's 11:50. And there we have it, the final look. I'm so happy how that's turned out. So recapping, the face palette is gorgeous. I especially love this highlight. I should have used the highlight as my inner corner highlight. That probably would have been pretty. Thinking back, hindsight is 20/20. But I really love this blush color. The blush and the highlight really impressed me from this face palette. And I love how natural and like just easy to blend out the other shades are. Again, I will be taking some selfies and posting them on my Instagram stories if you want to see how this looks in not studio lighting. So make sure you're following me there. And then for the Metropolis palette, I do love this palette, but I don't reach for it as often as I really should. And I should because like I did this fairly quickly, you know, compared to like how long I would normally take to do my makeup. This was fairly simple. It was 3 shades, 2 just to blend out into my transition, and then 1 all over the lid. That's really it. And they practically like blend themselves. It's so pretty. Gabrielle said, I've definitely gotten more practice doing eye looks ever since the pandemic. Yep. There's definitely more time in the mornings. And I know having morning time for my makeup was always something that I budgeted time for. Even when I was traveling to the office, I would always wake up around 5 o'clock so I could wake up, get my shower, get my coffee, relax. But I always had at least 45 minutes to relax and do my makeup because that was like my me time. That was my self-care time. So if anything, now it's extended a bit more to anywhere between an hour and a half in the mornings. But it's nice to have that same kind of quiet stillness because like no one's really texting me or calling me at 6 a.m. So it's like quiet stillness. I have my coffee. I have my makeup. It's like my little meditation time. So I definitely have done the same. It's gotten a little bit longer. So I don't know if my office is going to open up again this year. I doubt it. I think we're going to be working from home until 2021. But I can't really complain because I have a lot of extra time to do more filming, more different types of filming, and then more looks like this, and more live streams. I really want to do more live streams. Gabrielle said, are you liking working from home? I have to say, I've gotten used to sleeping in because I now sleep in, have my shower, still do my makeup and everything. So I like that. I actually miss my commute. Like, I think I always complained about the trains and everything, but they were such a nice way to like bookmark my days, like going in for my morning commute, having my coffee, going into the office. I really miss the office, I have to say. I loved going into the office, and I rarely worked from home until this happened. But I have to say, I don't hate it. I've definitely gotten used to it. It's definitely my new normal. So I do think it's going to be a transition if we ever do go back to the office. But I really have no idea when or what that's going to look like. So I'm definitely used to it, but I do really miss my trains and the office. But I'm so happy I'm able to work from home. There are so many people who have to, essential workers or other office workers, where they're forced to go into the office. So I have to say, I'm really grateful that my company is being so responsible and just like really keeping their employees in mind. I felt so supported by not only like the company, but like my management team. They've done so much, and I'm just really grateful for that. And it really makes me appreciate what I have now when I see stories, on Twitter or online where people still have to like take the trains and go into work. And there are people who don't really have to go in, but they're forced to go in because of either weird government rules or something. But I'm just really appreciative that I'm able to work from home. So we are right on the money. It's 11:55. I've got to run. I will take some pictures of both the look, because this looks pretty, and of my face to post on Instagram if you guys want to see how it looks in more natural lighting. And let me know what you guys want to see for my next live stream. I'm hoping if you guys like the Saturday morning kind of thing, we can do that. Otherwise, the best times I can do are probably Friday nights or Sunday nights. So I'll probably post another poll at some point, but I had a lot of fun doing this. Thank you guys for joining me. And then once this is processed, it'll be up for anyone who missed it to watch the replay. Thank you guys for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.